Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is the 5th session of the SkyTalks. I hope that you remember to turn off your to put your phones on vibrating mode. And also, when this presentation is concluded, we have a mic at the back. Please go there to give your questions for our next speaker. Now, for those who remember being a little bit younger, I mean, I remember when I was a child, my father would give me a baseball glove or a hockey stick, and I'd be all happy. But nowadays, since all of you or most of you have children, due to technology, things have evolved, and now they only get happy if they receive the latest cell phone or an RC car or some type of drone just to make them happy. Now, the problem with having a lot more stuff out there, a lot more technology, it brings the prices of transport down, and people are flying all over the world. But it's one thing to deal with military and civil aviation, but we also have recreational toys and drones out there that are disruptive. So our next speaker, Yuri Fattah, who works at the ICAO Air Navigation Bureau as a program manager for multidisciplinary priorities, he will talk about disruptive technologies and what role they play in the future of aviation. Please welcome.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming. So I am an aeronautical engineer, and I'm an introvert. So you might be asking, well, what am I doing on a stage in front of so many people, and what message do I have that I can give you? So I think we have been noticing a very strong undercurrent of innovation and technological advances in the technical part of aviation. And before I continue the presentation, I want to first thank the community that has made this possible. There are many logos on this page. They're a subset of those who have contributed knowingly or unknowingly, because they make their advances open and available for everyone to use, to the things you're about to see in the presentation. And probably it's just the tip of the iceberg. Every day as I speak, there are more and more innovations coming online. In aviation, we're dreamers. At the engineering level, at least, we're dreamers. Because in the beginning, even before we could fly, we were still thinking of how to fly. And once we got to flying, we didn't stop. And those who come after us will continue that great tradition of dreaming. But until very recently, or maybe a little bit in the future, most dreamers could not really afford to make their dream come true. Why? Well, when I was an aeronautical engineer in university, if you wanted to run the wind tunnel, it was a lot of money. If you wanted to do simulations, it was a lot of money. If you wanted to even do some basic computer-aided design, the computer you had to have was more expensive than what was that time, a Mercedes-Benz. But this trend that we have been feeling over the last couple of years, and that will definitely continue, means that very soon, anyone really in the world, almost anyone in the world who has a dream and has the opportunity to pursue that dream through their own will, not so much the depth of their resources, is going to be able to do something. So to take you through this journey, I'm going to just go through one vision, and this vision was developed by a few people I know, and they went through these steps relatively quickly. It is not yet operational, but as you'll see, we might not be that far away. The vision started with an inspiration, because when people think of how do I get a drone up there, or how do I get something flying up there, you'd always look for inspiration. Inspiration can come from those who came before us. Inspiration can come from nature. So in this case, they took inspiration from nature, And they started, as most engineers do, to sketch something out. And as the sketch develops, it turns into modeling. So what you see here are screenshots from about 10 different tools that you can download online, that you can go online and learn because other people are willing to teach online. And you will end up with a drawing that is manufacture proof. After the modeling, you have to do a little bit of aerodynamic hard work. So what you see over here is, in the instant of the video, it's something that you can see online where someone's showing how to run open source computer fluid dynamic analysis. So CFD, for those who know and those who don't know, is probably one of the most complicated parts of taking an aviation dream and making it reality. And what you see in the main screen here is that initial design that a few of my friends had put together on a sketch and modeled, and it's being put in through a CFD program that is open source. So again, this is bringing complicated engineering tools to anyone in the world who really wants to use it. It is still complicated to learn, but it's accessible. After that, you got to make the stuff. And here again, there's a short video that I got from the internet that shows how you can buy run-of-the-mill 3D printing tools, and you can print your own 3D model. Of course, in the video, it's not showing that actual model being printed, but you get the idea. Again, this is accessible, and it democratizes the realization of the aviation dream, because now you don't need a big lab. Now you don't need to have large corporations to start the journey down new aviation models. After that, you have to program your creation so that it can fly. One of the more intricate things about flying is the dynamics of flying. Until recently, again, this was highly kept secrets is perhaps a little bit too strong, but it was not easy to get to. Now you can go online and you can download artificial intelligence models. You can program your own artificial intelligence, and there are ways that you can hard code that into off-the-shelf flight chips that you can put in your drones. And all that ends up one day that you may be able to go from a dream to flying without really needing all that large resources that stop many engineers who start an aviation dream from realizing it. You would also heard this the concept of UTM, and in UTM something similar is happening. Many people out there are developing UTM. They don't necessarily have large research labs and lots of consultants and lots of money to bring a lot of people together and have thought. But what they do have at their fingertips is the ability to model, to test, and go through the iterative process to come up with the solutions of the future. So the basic message is here, whatever this dream is in the world, and that's why the subtitle of this presentation is Democratization of Aviation. In other words, bringing that ability to all parts of the world for people to realize new concepts. Whatever the dream, the cost of realization is going down every day. And the next time we meet in an air navigation conference, hopefully there'll be less animation and more realism in my presentation, but I'm very confident that there is. If you're interested in continuing this journey, we do have a global summit on next generation aviation professionals, those who will then do all this stuff, and that is in Shenzhen, China, 12 to 13 December. Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay, thank you.